Hey kids, welcome to the show. It's your trusty host and guide through outer space, Mark Miller. My good friend Fred is here. And of course, the amazing, the ever-powerful, the incomparable.
Oh, God.
Rory's on the
completely forgotten that you had that.
Roy's on the phone. Brand new fanfare, trying it out for the second day in a row.
Everybody. Yes.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Gets me moving in the morning.
It's a good tune, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just looking at the code here, and I was like, "What is that? What's going on there?" I don't know. I haven't touched that in a while. I think I'm not sure what's going on. Get character positions. Okay, something's going on. Usually, I put a comment here or something like that. Creature's not equal active player. Oh, this is the active player, so I don't know. Ignore the active player. I'm not sure what's going on with that code. I don't know. That's not too interesting to me. What's interesting to me is this code right here that I've set a breakpoint for. What? Who died?
Coding magpie?
No, it's
Coding crocodile.
coding zebra.
Coding zebra. Coding antes.
Yeah, coding gorilla. It says, do me next.
Hey, coding gorilla.
Welcome. We got only one show this week. I'm taking a mini vacation this week. It reminds me, I should tell Dev Express I'm going to do that. You know, they've got a policy that says, tell us like weeks in advance, Mark. And I'm always like, I'm going now. And I forgot to tell them again. So, yeah, they'll be...
Well, I mean, it's a step up from calling them from the Sun Lounger, right?
Yeah, I assume everybody's watching anyway right now. You guys now you know. Sad Panda says... Sad Panda! Says Coding Gorilla.
You going anywhere nice?
What'd you say? Am I going anywhere nice? No.
Yeah.
For me, like, look, I don't... This is just between me and you guys, but, you know, for me, vacations are... like a bunch of like doing nothing, getting nothing done for a long time. Coding Magpie, that actually made me laugh out loud. Yeah, Coding Magpie, cool. Yeah, so I got a vacation, but it's Karen's birthday, so I'm going to be, you know, I'll do my best to show up and act like everything's just fine. But I will essentially be totally unproductive for, you know, until Saturday, Sunday. And then I'll be able to come back. I think we're gonna do on Sunday. We're gonna do a show with Campbell, my son, Kids Code.
Okay. And
we're gonna create one of the coolest things I've ever conceived of. I think in that show, it's for the project we're working on there, which is a trader bot. A bot that trades stocks.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about this. This sounds fascinating to me.
Yeah, well, you know, what it is fascinating. I guess one of the things I really love about doing this show is that, you know, coming in and kind of live solving challenges, right? Trying to figure out how we're going to build this or what are we going to do. And one of the things that became kind of readily apparent with a stock trading bot is that my money is on the line. And
yeah.
and so you want to make you know and one mistake could, you know, mean you lose all your money, right? So we want to prevent that kind of thing from happening. And so so in order to do that, you need test cases. But in order to create test cases that revolve around data, you need a way to visualize the data. So it's kind of like a 1, 2, 3 kind of step steps are being taken. So step 1 is visualization, which we're kind of close to nailing. Step 2 is a test case generator, but this is what's going to make it so cool, Rory. The test case generator is going to hit a copy button. When I hit copy and I paste the test case into the code, it's going to give me the test case, but it's also going to give me a picture of the data, the visualization, including...
Oh, very nice.
Like I might select a range and say, I want to test this range. Like maybe I want to check its slope. Or I want to check this range and I want to verify that I get a buy signal here.
Yep.
Or test another range and verify I get a sell signal there. Well, the test creation tool is going to allow us to select a range of stock data points and give it a variable name. and then the test case will generate that variable name. So when you're looking at the variable name, you can look right up at the picture that's going to be right above it using CodeRush image embedding. And I checked this. We built, our architecture for the image embedding is actually really, really good. I said this when we put it out, that it was, I thought it had solved all the major problems that were going to block this from happening. And I thought we did a good job. And I forgot that one of the major problems I wanted to solve was the ability for you to specify your own path to your own image, as well as us doing it automatically when you paste in. And I tested it to make sure it would work, and it works. And it's so sweet. It even handles subdirectories. So the whole thing is like, I'm like thinking really good job, CodeRush team plus, me for speccing it out and being kind of relentless, and it has to be perfect because it's going to be very, very cool. And I think we'll be able to do it. I think we'll be able to do in a 2-hour kind of beginner coding show. We'll be able to go from, not having it to having it work. And I think it's just going to be like, it's going to be really awesome because it's going to be able to allow us to create a high number of test cases and effortlessly do this, right? Whereas before, right, this whole problem is visualizing the data, right? There's two problems. One is visualizing, and two is visualizing the parts, right? And without a tool like this, without creating the tooling to support this, your testing is a challenge in creating any kind of trading bot. It really is, because you have to visualize in your head, okay, what's the data look like? You maybe switch to another file where you're looking at the data, you're looking at a chart, and then you're saying, okay, I'm expecting, and then manually putting in the range of the dates, and none of that we'll have to do. We'll just select, click and drag the date, type in a name for the variable, right? Or click on a point and type in the name for the variable, and it's going to generate the code. And I think it's going to be sweet. I think at least in one show we can get really close. So that's, I think, going to happen on Sunday. So we're going to get back, and then we get back sometime, I think, on Saturday or something like that. Some folks were thinking about breaking into my house. Don't worry.
You've got a very, very narrow window.
You've got a narrow window, and I've got people who are, who I've, deserve getting broken into, going to be watching the house. So it's going to all work out, even if you break in. I've got video cameras everywhere to record the mayhem. It'll be happy. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. Today I want to. So I'm actually going to head out today. I'm going to drive out today. So before I head out, I wanted to work on the call lightning spell effect. Call lightning is kind of a challenging spell effect because. Let's see. Why aren't we seeing the spells? I wonder why that is. I bring up another spell. Will it show up? That's weird.
Okay, so control over the scroll is fine from the chat room.
Yeah. It's as if... Oh, wait, hold on. I think I may know why. We're on Sad Panda. Let's switch back over to the main one. Let's see if that makes any difference. Does it? Nowhere to breakpoint. That could be why. See the breakpoint?
That could do it.
Let's run it. And I hit like 40 buttons.
There we go.
We're still at the breakpoint. Still at the breakpoint. All right. Now at least we know what's going on. I feel like I need a hook in Visual Studio so when we get a breakpoint, it's like, breakpoint, that kind of a thing. So it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Let's bring that down for a second. We're not dealing with that. All right, just the spell. So this one's kind of interesting. Storm cloud appears. Shape a cylinder that is 10 feet tall, 60-foot radius, so 120-foot diameter, 10 feet tall.
Big.
It's big. Centered on a point you can see 100 feet directly above you.
Specifically above you.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'm going to follow that guideline.
That seems a little strange.
I was thinking I would use 100 feet above the point you choose. So, like, if you, go ahead.
We're going to create So the storm cloud is 100. I see what you mean. Okay, that's 100 feet above. So then from there, the lightning will emanate and presumably cast downward. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Coding Gorilla says Visual Studio supports sounds for events. And I was just saying, yeah, Coders Classic did that at one point. I'm pretty sure Code Rush Regular does not have that. It was a plugin. It's just kind of a fun plugin that somebody released. I don't think we have it.
That rings a bell, yeah.
No. Yeah, literally, that's a sound joke you just told, Rory. Good job. Okay, so step one, we need a cloud. And it says 100 feet. But then paragraph 2 says, when you cast a spell, choose a point you can see within range. Your range is 120 feet. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. So now I've got a 5-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
Or almost, you could say, a sphere.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky. Because you could almost call it a sphere because, well, no, maybe not. Because lightning hits everything on the way down. So I guess it's a cylinder. We'll go ahead and say it's a cylinder. And it's 5 feet in diameter. So we have 2 different cylinders at play here. We've got a cylinder that represents the size of the storm and another one for targeting. What I'm going to do to simplify this is instead of asking the spellcaster to pick 2 different points, I'm going to ask them to pick 1 point because really we don't care where the cloud is in the sky. We just care about the target. So
we can put it somewhere within range of the destination ultimately. Yeah.
So we're going to create a target picker that's 5 feet in radius.
Yes.
So 10-foot diameter cylinder, that's 100 feet tall, I think. And everything in that range. So theoretically, according to the rules, if I had multiple creatures stacked up on the edge of different levels and they were all lined up, I could get them all with this.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we need to do. I have a breakpoint set up here in the code right here behind that's TaleSpire targeting right here. And I just want to see what happens when we get in here, what kind of data comes up when I try to cast the spell. So I'm going to do that now. So call lightning, and I just hit the button for call lightning, and we're in here, which is good news. I have not hit cast spell yet. So let's see what's going on with target details. All right, this is good news. The cylinder.
There's data coming from the sheet, right?
Oh, yeah. I say it's good news, but actually it's kind of bad news. It's a little bit bad. This is the cylinder that is the cloud, and it's not what I want.
Yeah.
I want
you want the second cylinder.
So I'm going to just run it for a second, and let's close that down. Bring that guy down. I want the other data. So what I need to do is open up the file. So let's go to the data. Let's go to the spells. Let's go find call lightning. Okay, there it is right there. So this part is wrong. Always doing tricks, always showing off. I heard a rumor of a new amazing fanfare.
No.
Well, yeah, that's
you must have imagined it.
It's not bad, huh? I feel like my moves are getting better every day. All right, so this is now 100-foot tall cylinder. And
yeah, and it's 5-foot radius, so 10 foot. If that's diameter, I guess, then that's fine.
That is what I think it is. And I think I've got a note up here, like a long note that describes what the heck's going on in here. Somewhere in here I've got the word cylinder, I think. Rays are there. Where's my cylinder notes? I'm pretty sure I got them in here. Cylinder dimensions. Diameter first, followed by height.
Okay, good. So yes.
So I have 10-foot diameter by 100-foot cylinder height. So that's sweet. Yes, about time. Hi, Rory, Mark. Hey, Jetsam. Welcome.
Hey, Jetsam.
Good to
Come
have
on
you.
in.
Good to have you
Pull
with
up
us.
a chair. Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show, right?
Yeah.
For like years, Roy and I would say, just deal with the show. That's
Deal
what we
with the
would
show.
say.
That's it.
Just suffer
We
through
didn't
the
care
show.
so much back then.
We didn't, but we, Dev Express marketing folks pulled us aside and said, hey, enjoy might be a better word to use. And I just went like this. Wow. Just slapped the whole line of marketers at Dev Express. Slow motion too. Roy was like, how'd you slow down time like that? And it was just like, and they were like, they're back and they're like, we're serious. And it was like, all right, fine. So anyway, enjoy the show. 10 foot by 100 foot cylinder. Okay, I'm going to hit the reload everything button. So hopefully that'll get the spell, reload its data. And then I'm going to go back to the app over here, and we're expecting to see that breakpoint. I'm going to go back into the spells, and I'm going to go hit Call Lightning, go.
Yep.
And now, do we see the new target details, which I'm hoping that we see? Where are we? Come on.
10 by 100. Come on.
Where is it? There it is. Sweet.
There we go.
So-
Success.
The kind says none. And I think kind should say we should have figured this out, and we did not. So we need to go figure that out, why we're not getting the kind correctly. There. Okay, let me close that down. Close that down. Let's go figure that out.
So we've got the raw data, but we haven't kind of parsed it correctly.
Yeah, kind is target kind, and I'm expecting it to say volume. See right there? I'm expecting it to be volume, but it's not. So we're not parsing it. I think it's because it's a cylinder and I just haven't done it yet. That's my guess.
Makes sense.
Let's see what's going on with assignments to kind here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Shape. To shape. Size shape. Hold on. Here we
So
go.
there's a size shape.success. So
Yeah.
there's, did it match this particular regex essentially?
Yeah. So we're looking for a couple regexes here, and I think the problem is we're failing to find it because it is the dimensions has got an X inside it, right here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the problem.
So what previous shapes have we got data for that we presumably are working for?
40-foot sphere works.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that we set a breakpoint maybe here, and we hit reload everything and see what happens. See if we stop there.
Sure.
Okay, let's see. What are we on? What's the trim part? There's just a 1. I want to make this a conditional breakpoint to say that trimmed part contains an X. Go. Now I'm running. Okay, now what's trim part? Okay, there we go. 10 foot by 40 foot cylinder. Okay, so this one failed. This is only to figure out if we're in units.
So that first test is a sequence of digits followed by a sequence of word-like characters, so like ABC and maybe some symbolic stuff, with a space in the middle. And if we do not find that, then we do the second attempt, which appears to be looking for, was that X miles?
Yeah,
That's
just
not,
in miles.
Right?
We're looking for a space with the word mile or miles after it. So it's either going to be here. We're just trying to figure out if we're in units or feet. So if that's the case, then I can also come in and say, well, it can be that X followed by, maybe I should do this here with an X followed by more, some other number.
Yeah.
And that this part is optional. That question mark goes from here to here, I think. Right? So it can be that or that. And if that's the case, I think this will now succeed. Good.
Are you not going to still require the sequence of characters afterwards?
Yeah.
At the moment.
I still got
that's of course that's the word cylinder though, so that's fine.
Yeah, but I think the problem will be it won't be in 2, it'll be in 3 now. which means I'll really have to do like the go from the back count to get it, is what I think it'll have to be. Let's go see. Or wait. What if I did? What if I did this? That no, because I need. Do I need the number? Oh God, this is so hard.
So in the existing cases, so where we're not doing a cylinder, it'll work without those brackets because it'll still be 1 and 2, won't it? Because sequentially it won't have done the middle, or will you now need 1 and 3? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
I'm sort of first trying to consider not breaking what we've already got.
Yeah, I kind of am with you on that. Hold on, let's try this. First coordinate. Hector's out there.
Hey, Hector.
We call this first. I don't know if this is syntactically correct or not.
I forget the specific syntax, but we can, I think it's called named groups, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, look,
Ooh, Retro CRT.
Watch some TV. This guy's like testing something up there. Retro CRT. Didn't see you there. Welcome.
So we're just adjusting some code here that's designed at the moment to parse the shapes that we've got in the data for our nice little D&D app. The data up until this point has been fairly simplistic data. What would we have? We had X miles, and then we had there was a particular volume. I forget the type we had.
Yeah.
But now we have a cylinder, and a cylinder will be given 2 dimensions, 2 numeric values. The first is the diameter of the circle on one end of the sphere, the cylinder, and the second is the height of said cylinder. And so we need to parse both those values out, plus knowledge that it is a cylinder, without breaking the existing code that only relies on them being 2 facilities. So what we're doing is we're looking up the mechanism whereby I think you can have named groups or something similar within regular expressions. That way you don't have to refer to them by index, but by named concept, which will make the actual code a little easier.
It's close. It's close. How you doing, Karen? Everything okay?
Perfect.
In every way?
Almost in every way. I'm just telling you, our car is a little like.
Really? How'd they fix that? Can you send that to our? Can you just?
It's not quite like that. It's more like this.
That's not good. We're driving up to a volcano today.
Ooh. Not warm enough where you are. You have to go visit a volcano.
It's actually cooler as you get higher.
Oh, that's true.
What'd you say?
Instead of saying we're taking a family vacation, you're like, we're driving to a volcano.
That's how I think.
It's a lot more impressive sounding, to be honest.
That's how I think about today. All right, so it's going to look like that. And that's inside the parens, I think. Pretty sure. Yeah. So first goes to here, like that.
Okay. Can't you put it inside? So like you don't need the inner set of parens there. Because first is effectively naming the group that it is within.
You are correct. I didn't notice that. But it's just that, essentially right there.
I cheated. I was looking at what Coding Gorilla said in the chat room there. Because he good.
Yeah. Oops. And it's this though, isn't it? Isn't it what I I thought I saw it was the question mark came before.
Yes, I thought I saw that.
Yeah, it comes before. Okay, good. All right, so that's it. So first is there. Good.
Yeah.
Then we have, and I think maybe I'm going to get rid of this as well. No, wait, because this says the whole thing is optional.
That's right. Yeah. So we're gonna. Can we name that second one second, and then like name the third one type or shape name or something like that?
Yeah. So that's second right there. Wait, what's going on here? Did I have?
You've got an extra question mark, I think.
Okay, yeah. All right, so now that's second. First, second. And...
Is it unit? Or?
I think that this can be repeated.
Oh, I see. Yes, thinking ahead
here,
there, Mr. Miller. For cubes, for an additional dimension.
Third, it's not cubes, it's cones that have 3 dimensions. All right, so now here's third. If I've got the syntax right, that'll be the third number that comes in, and it's also going to be, is this all? There's there's a problem here. There's a problem with grouping this with the other. This has got to come here. At the very least, we need one for sure. Then there's this, and this also has to essentially have one. Right there.
Okay.
It's got to be that, because if we've already committed to feet here, we're going to be in feet here.
Yes.
That one goes away, and this one is going to have feet at the end. I like this a little bit better.
Okay, yep.
And then finally, we're going to come in over here and call this the shape. Okay? So let's try that now. Come back up, go. All right, so now that's pretty good. We've got some groups in here, 7 groups. I should be able to now access the group by name, I think. So let's just go down here, feet, and then down here. We're going to have to fix this before we leave. We're going to need to, in fact, might as well do it now. Let's get this. And then get this here. That's going to be first. And there's nothing with miles that I know of that have 2 things in them. So it's basically just feet with multiples or the other.
Yeah, so we're replicating at least that part of the pattern so that we can use the same logic in order to extract that piece.
Yeah. Now, dimension string. Now this is where things get a little tricky. In that my dimensions. What are my dimensions? It's an int. Where are we using dimensions? What's this? Shoot. All right. All right, because I'm in edit and continue and I want to try to make this work. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Okay. So there's that. We got to fix this and get all targets in volume. Takes only 1 dimension. We're going to have to fix this, which means a restart of the TaleSpire client as well. Because we need to send down at least 3 dimensions, or 2 dimensions now and up to 3 later. Okay. I think I'm going to kill the app because we got enough that we want to change here. That might have been a mistake. I know I need to change this. We're going to rename this to dimension 1. And we're going to come in here and say dimension 2. And get dimension 3. Then we're going to send those out as well. Like that. Okay? Get all targets in volume. Then we want to go to this space over here. Get all targets in volume. Go down to args. And now it's args is going to be between 3. Selecting 3 to 5 args. Okay. Dimension stir 1. Kason 123 just followed. Thanks for that follow, Kason 123. If I got your name pronounced wrong, let me know. So dimension stir, this is going to be dimension stir 1, I guess. And well, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I wrote. Oh, look at this. I'm expecting args2, the third argument, to be a string. That is the dimensions. Hold on, I'm going to undo this. I don't need to change this. That's all good. save that, go back over into the other one, and this is going to be a dimension stir coming in here, like this.
Yeah.
It's going to be of type string. Okay? That's coming in here as the third parameter. Okay? Get all targets.
So we're going to reconstitute that from the 3 parsed pieces, or up to 3 parsed pieces.
Right. And so here are dimensions. I think I'm going to call some of this, create something here called dimension stir, is what I think I'm going to do. Let's work our way back. We're going to create something called dimension stir and do that. And I don't care about the other numbers. Like that. Dimensions here are always going to be in feet. Now maybe I'll just call it dimensions feet. It's a string. We don't need to really. All right, dimensions feet. There it is right there. Okay?
Yeah.
And then now we're going to come out here. We need to fix that. Where else are we using this thing? Start targeting. Okay, we're going to fix that one too. It's going to be dimensions feet. That's going to be a string. Okay, that means we got to go into start targeting and figure that out. Okay. So this will kind of work already until there's a multi-dimensional piece here. So we need to add multi-dimensional. So we need to fix that. Start targeting here. It's in one dimension. Where are those dimensions used? Okay. Here I think I'm going to do this. Call this dimension 1 feet. Like that. Then I'm going to add 2 more optional parameters to this. Like that.
Yep.
Start targeting. Just calling this just one place. I like it when that happens, when I've only got one call. So this is going to be dimension 1. Dimension 1 feet, like this. And then I'm going to need to do this. I'm going to need to say, I'm going to create a different method here is where I'm headed with this. All right, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to say, try parse dimensions. I'm going to create a method called try parse dimensions. Passing in dimension stir and out those right there. And I like that. That's good. Okay, we'll fix that and we'll write that in a second. The other place that we need to be was, where was it? Get all targets in volume?
Yep.
4 dimensions?
Hypercubes.
Maybe I do have 4 dimensions. Oh, these are... We should change these to all floats, probably. Okay, one more. Do we need 4? Why did I put 4 in there? I'm a little worried about that. Let's go look. I don't know if I have a great way to do, I don't know, can I do a regular expression search in here?
That acid splash has got 3 numbers in, but that's even there's heavier than I expected to see.
So I want to see this followed by any number of characters by another X, followed by any number of characters by another X. And specific range cells, fine. Oh, because the word box at the end, right there. So it found that, but it's only 3 dimensions.
Okay.
Just that one. Yeah, I only need 3 dimensions. Okay, good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. I'll take my wins when I can get them. Okay, try parse dimensions there. I don't need dimension 4. What are we using 4 for? Get all in volume. Really? Why am I doing that? I don't need 4 dimensions. Pretty sure I don't. What are we doing down here with this thing? Dimension in tiles, and we're not even using it. So we're going to kill that. Kill that.
Work our way back up, killing the pieces as we prove there's no need.
Yeah. I think I was just a little excited that day I wrote that code. Okay, kill that. Excuse me. Try parse dimensions. I want to copy that, but I want to also find that. There it is, so we can replace this. Okay.
Yep.
And then now start targeting. It's going to have dimensions 1 feet. We need start targeting to not be an int. We need it to be a float. And we need these 2 to be floats as well. We need to make that work at some point. Okay, so now we want to pass in the last 2 parameters here. Okay, so now we've got all those parameters being sent in. I'm not a fan of the order of these, and that dimensions 1 feet is here and not there. But I should be able to rear parameters and throw it right there. And that's cool.
Yes.
All right, that's my little flash warning that says, hey, don't forget to shut down Dropbox, Mark. And I'll do that. All right, let's implement try parse dimensions. I think we're going to do a regular expression pattern matching right here. Is what I think we're going to do.
So I assume, are we going to do this a multi-iterative? So we're going to go looking for a 3-way match first, then a 2, then a 1, or are we going to try and be clever and, I don't know, produce something that has fallback logic within it?
I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this guy right here. So I'm going to try and find, there's no feet indicators when it comes down now, because it'll always be in feet.
So do we just put those as sort of optional groups around them? Because didn't you say that there are some variations which do have?
I'm not quite sure I understand.
Were they not in there when we started manipulating this regular expression? Or did you add them as we went along? The apostrophe.
Are you talking about the one coming down here? The one coming down here has not been built yet. But I'm telling you, I'm going to make it like this. 1 times 2 times 3.
So we're going to start off with data that's in the sheet, which may have feet indicators. We're then going to have parsed out the individual parts of that, and then we're going to reassemble a piece, which is then going to be passed here. But that reassembled piece itself will not have the feet indicators, so we can require that and rely on it.
It will be in feet. The values coming down will be in feet.
But will not have explicit indicators to that effect.
Right. So I want to come in and I want to say, well, flat out, I'm going to say value, might as well do it for all of them. Value 1 is equal to 0. Value 2 and value 3. Okay. Then I want to run this line of code right here. Then I want to say, hey, if this dot success, then we're going to return true at some point, and we're going to do something else before it. Otherwise, we're returning false. So the before it stuff goes here. So here we're going to come in and say, okay, if size shape dot groups dot contains, no contains. Do I have a size shape dot contains here? What is it? What you going to give me?
I guess if we go into groups, will it just have a null entry for that, or?
You mean group number? Wait, one.
I thought we could access by name.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that will.
You think it'll just be flat out there no matter what?
Well, I don't know. I've not done a lot of work in this area. I mean, you're right. Normally, you've got a quantity of them. But equally, the quantity may not be enough. There we go. So it exists as a complex result, one part of which is the value we're looking for. Layla Codesit is raiding with a party of 77. Wow. Welcome, everybody.
Just in time for my shower, kids. Hey, Layla Codesit, welcome. Thanks for the raid. Hey, Chris Jones.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Copper Beardy.
We likes us a raid. Come on in, everybody. Join the party. Yeah, when I say party, I do in fact mean regex. Sorry.
One Punch Max says, "Oh God, regex." Speaking of regex, hold on. We had a fanfare for somebody who doesn't show up anymore. I guess he didn't like his fanfare. I don't know. Where is it? Hold on a second. I'm trying to find Codeman codes. There it is, right there. What's going on, Fred? Regex? Great idea.
Yeah, we should totally do that.
Oh, no, not regex. Let's go, Dead Coach, kids. I've got it. Findall says that mustache and beard is awesome. Layla Codes it is no. Yeah, I'm in regex. Yeah. Nick, the first one saying, how are you doing? We're doing pretty good. We're doing there good, Nick. How are you? Mr. Joshua T is out there. Welcome. One Punch Matt. Everybody, welcome. We are in the middle of, by the way, on the phone with me is it's Rory, kids. Rory's on the phone.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Regex is like Perl, a read-only language. It totally makes sense. Then you go on lunch and you come back and you have no idea. Yeah, that's why we don't go on lunch here in the show. We can't do it because of the regex. Copperbeard says, you melting there? It's like 30 degrees here in my living room. Is it hot over there in the UK, Rory?
It depends on your definition of hot. I think it's insanely hot.
Yeah.
But my computer's telling me that locally it's only about 23 degrees.
Wow.
Celsius, that is. But it has been up to 29, 30 of late. So, yeah.
Wow.
I'm melting.
Yeah, Joshua T says, I'm melting.
You must have this all the time. You live in Costa Rica, I assume. Land of the endless beaches and sunshine, right? That's my mental picture.
I'm surrounded by 4 concrete walls and air conditioning fills the room. So I'm not sure what it's like outside, but I'm pretty sure it stays the same here all the time in Costa Rica. By the way, we're looking
what you have to remember is here in land of England, we don't have air conditioning. It's a redundant concept because although we get hot weather, it's for such a short period of the year. It's just not worth investing.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Over here, like we went overkill. We built 2 40-foot container parts extensions outside to the home, and in each of those 2 we put in each one we put in 2 air conditioners. So one air conditioner is air conditioning like 3 meters by like 4 or 5 meters. That's all it's doing. Yeah. And so like you go, those are for the kids. We get the kids out of here, move the kids out of the house over there. Copperbeardy says feed in the freezer. Yeah, no air conditioning, heating and insulation. Yeah, I heard in Seattle it was incredibly hot. In I think Portland, Oregon, it was incredibly hot too. And same issue over there, Rory. It's so far north that nobody thinks let's do air conditioning. But yeah, it's actually strange. It's like, it seems like with global warming that actually the closer you are to the equator, the more even everything is throughout the year, with the exception of like storms. You still get like storms and stuff like that.
Well, sure.
Yeah. So we are hacking TaleSpire is what we're doing.
Yes.
TaleSpire is a Dungeons and Dragons game, like tabletop board game.
Yes, it provides us with the 3D environment necessary to represent the game that would otherwise take place in your mind or on a board in front of you with characters. The great part being, of course, that the players can be in completely different parts of the world and still meet up in this virtual environment. Mark has a second channel on which there is a broadcast of a slightly adult-themed Dungeons and Dragons show, and we've been building kind of ESPN-like effects on a 2D overlay, much as you see some of the little pieces here, in an effort to make the whole thing run more fluidly and just generally be a more entertaining effort. And then we stumbled across TaleSpire, which allowed us to give the 3D aspect to this. So we've been injecting our own effects and all manner of clever things going on. Yes.
That happens if you happen to find the other one and follow that. That other one here, I'll give you a link out there. It's there. We're actually on a break from that for a couple weeks, so we're on that break, and we'll be coming back. I don't know, in a couple weeks from now. We're just chilling out right now. The players are getting used to TaleSpire, and we're injecting some effects into it. So TaleSpire lets you move minis around a board, but it doesn't have any built-in spell effects. It doesn't have a targeting system.
Yep.
We are adding both in, following the Dungeons and Dragons rules. That's what we're doing. TaleSpire is not open source, Frank. We are modding and hacking into it like crazy.
Yeah, it's a Unity-based facility which you can get on Steam and possibly some other ways. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, it's a framework that they're building out, and they're selling content, I think, and stuff like that. It's very interesting to look at how they're going about this.
Yeah, and so it's so they give us everything we haven't written, which is awesome. And so, like we have, one of the things we had blood effects. So when I get hurt as a player, blood squirts out from in front of me on the live stream, right? It's just whoosh, like that. Well, we now have that synced up with the same player, the same mini on the board. So again, TaleSpire doesn't come with volumetric blood effects squirting out of minis, but here on this show, which is sometimes also referred to as Overkill Productions, we have volumetric blood gushing out of the mini models on the board, which is delicious, delightful. Right now, so we're trying to work on a specific spell called Call Lightning, which allows a spellcaster to target a volume. And targeting volumes is something that happens in D&D. You can target like a 40-foot sphere, or a 20-foot square, and which is not a volume technically, but you kind of get the idea, right? We're targeting more than a single point. Underkill is just overkill is the best kind of kill. I would agree with that. If I'm gonna hope for a kill, it's definitely overkill.
Indeed.
So you caught us right in the middle with our pants down and regex right here exposed. Apologies for that. We're going to get back in there. Anyone likes Dungeon Run? I haven't seen it. The Dungeon
Not heard of
Run.
that.
I don't know what that is. So we're here we are. We're trying to figure out some regex here, get this thing going. So this is the stream I talk about a lot on stream. Oh, okay, Copperbeardy. Well, thank you. Yeah, we do a lot of, and we didn't really get to it. I mean, right now we're just doing a lot of talking to you. And you just see code in the background, but we specialize in attention to detail is what we do. Graphic attention to detail. Graphic meaning visual elements, the way they're presented, and audio.
High quality, decent resolution, audio, layering of effects for a more organic feel, for example.
That's what we do. So if you stick with us long enough, you'll see something gorgeous probably by the end of the show.
Yeah. What we're doing right now is we're taking some data out of a sheet, so we're not coding the individual tiny D&D rules into this. We've got data in a sheet which specifies that for this particular type of targeting, the one we're planning on, we need a cylinder which will have diameter and height, and obviously the word cylinder to key the fact that it is that kind of volume. And so therefore we're parsing a derivative string from there in order to work out what the dimensions of that targeting area are. We're then going to place some things within the world to help us visualize that targeting effect, and then obviously we'll be able to then choose to select it and then engage the actual spell, whereupon I assume we will have lightning.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. We're going for a lightning effect, and that's what we're hoping for. We need to be able to handle multiple dimensions. So that's something that we didn't anticipate. So we're going to do that. Basically, we're looking at a dimension string coming in here. Parses a dimension string that looks like, you know, like that. And that's kind of what we're going to do. And so we're looking for a match here, and then we're going to check to say, hey, if there was a success there, then we're going to say, hey, value 1 is equal to this first up value.
Yep.
Like that. All right, a couple things I want to do. Wait. I don't want to use the same constant, even though I'm in the same method. I want to use this here and here, like this. Also, I'm using CodeRush, which if you're like, wait, how's he writing code so fast? I'm using CodeRush, so that's what's going on here. Let's going to do this. Whoops. And this. Just forgot the word name. What's happening in chat, Rory? Got my eyes on the code. Anything exciting?
Yeah, Coding Gorilla is just pointing out that checking success on the first is redundant since it's not an optional captcha. The overall success would be false if it were not present.
You're so right. Look at that guy,
So
man.
that's really useful.
That's a great.
Awesome contribution!
There's also a question from Thindal. He asks, can you send out a brackets value 1, value 2, value 3 group instead? I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I think he's inferring that the idea is that you can sort of simultaneously pull those values out into their relative locations, like a deconstruction. Is that the correct term? I'm not very familiar with that technique myself.
We're talking about regex, right? And what can we do here? One of the things to point out is that this is optional, you know, as is this. I was going to say they kind of step on top of each other. It's almost, actually, you could almost argue this goes inside of this right there. Does that make sense? Because I wouldn't want to get success on the third and not the second somehow if it, you know, I don't know. I'm just going to, yeah. Not sure the support for value tuples. That's what Thindal means, maybe? Static.
Right, so this is not about the extraction via the regex so much as it is returning a value which contains all 3 parts, or versus 2, or what have you. I'm not sure.
I see.
Is that correct? Maybe?
Yeah. We could do tuples here if we wanted to, I think. But
I guess we're following the pattern of the standard try-parse, which returns true, did it find anything first, and then you get to examine the extra pieces.
Yeah.
That's really the only reason we're doing this. We were in the mindset of try-parse, and we were extending it for other out values.
All right, so this one's going to be value 1. Whoops. Value 1, right there. Okay. We're going to get a second in here, which I haven't declared yet. And that's going to go to there, and we're going to get a third to there. We need to come in here and say second, and we need third like that. Okay. This we need to come in and say here, if second dot success, then do that. In fact, what I should do is duplicate that right there to become that. Right there. Okay, so the third one, then we get 3. So that's not too bad. I think that's going to work. We can do this as well. We can do this. We can send out a debug log here where we're going to say, I'm using warning so it kind of stands out a bit in the log. And I'm going to say, got dimensions. Keep keep an eye on the chat room for me while I type this in, my friend.
Yeah, Thindle says, holy something or other, that paste was efficient. I don't know that we were pasting. We were using duplicate selection.
Yeah.
And that is very, very efficient. Yes, the intelligence with which the patterns are recognized and duplicated will pick up on numeric increases, multiplications, next step in an enumeration, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And of course, if that same element is present in multi-parts of the thing you're duplicating, then we'll duplicate it the same way throughout. So there's a lot of good pattern recognition goes on in CodeRush.
Right, right. In fact, I think if we had started this with first, even though we said we didn't need to, and I got rid of these, I think it's going to just do everything for me. 1, it doesn't get the value to 2, so I got to switch that to a 2. And then now it gets the third one.
That's right. So it's picked up on your adjustments as you were going, which is, again, just as useful.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah, it's a great feature of CodeRush. If you're working in Visual Studio, it's duplicate line select, smart duplicate line and smart duplicate selection. Can you give them a link to our video on that, Rory?
Yeah, absolutely. No trouble.
Okay, so we're going to say got dimensions, and then it's going to be what is it? Value 1, x value 2, x value 3. And I kind of really want and this only makes sense. This should be in braces like that. And I think what I want to do is this, since we're just starting this out, that's going to be a 3-dimensional piece. Otherwise, we know we're in a 2-dimensional piece. I just want to send out what the dimensions are. And then if that else, we're going to come down here and we're going to say got dimensions, just one value coming in here. So that means the second one wasn't successful, so therefore we're here. Then down here, I'm going to log an error. We say unable to get dimensions. And I'm going to put in the dimension stir like this. So we'll look at what's coming in and we'll figure out hopefully what's going on there. Now, I should point out that in this world we're in, we have no way of stepping through this code. This code is, why don't you tell them about that, Roy, while I kind of switch back to...
The reason that we don't have that facility, we're running this obviously inside of TaleSpire, TaleSpire being a Unity-based facility. Now, that means that we're using a kind of a plugin injection mechanic called Bepinex. You can go find that on the net. It's used for a few different applications. And the mechanism by which these DLLs are then injected in is either such that they are shadow copied, so they're not actually running the ones we deploy, or they're doing some other kind of mechanism, which means unfortunately you can't break in. Without going through, we have found a process which we looked at and went, wow, that's a long process, and we kind of went out straight away. That was us done. So we're going kind of old school, and we're doing logging of everything and just basically feeding back as much information to ourselves as possible in order to avoid having to go through that process.
Yeah, that is correct. All right, so thanks, Rory, for that.
I've put the smart duplicate selection link in the chat room there, but I've also followed it up with the CodeRush feature of the week playlist, which is a considerably larger list of 5 or 10 minute videos that just explain a few features here and there of CodeRush, in case you're interested.
Yeah. The next version, the next release of CodeRush, the Visual Studio plugin, comes in at I think in a couple days. We have releases every 30 days, and I think we've got one coming out soon. I just went over a what's new for it a couple days ago, so that's coming out, like I say, in a couple days. By the way, if anybody's watching and you work in Visual Studio and you want a copy of CodeRush for absolutely free without paying for it, let Rory know right now in the chat room. And Rory, just collect the their names, and will I have time to DM them? I think I will. Okay. Maybe if not, you can DM them for me. I don't know if you'll have time or not. But give Roy your name on there. Thindle looks like he wants one. Or she wants one. Sorry, I don't. If I don't know you, apologies if I misgender you. I'll do my best to be agnostic until instructed otherwise. But Thindle looks like Thindle wants a copy. Okay. Back over to the main app now. Switching back to the main app here because we're kind of doing changes on both sides of things right there. Using ReSharper at the moment, but always good to look into more tools to help out. Sure, no worries. Yeah, there are definitely all kinds of things that you can do out there to work faster. Okay, over here, I had a slightly different regex, but it seemed to work as we were stepping through it.
Yeah.
But then...
Now, we never quite got down to using named parts of it instead of the numeric parts.
Right. And here's where we kind of need to do this. So we need to come in and say, and I kind of need to do the same thing up here.
Surly Dev is in the house.
Surly Dev is in the house, kids.
Welcome, Surly Dev. Good to see you.
I'm just going to take all of these and I'm going to give them good names. I'll rename them in a second, but I want to get first, second, and there's third. Whoops. And then there's shape. Like that. And then we're going to create some constants here. First is equal to first. And then we'll start training code rush here. What we want to do, each of these. And then fine, why not? I'll go to shape as the next one. All right. And let's rename this to first name. Second name, third name, and shape name. Okay, then we come down here, size shape is success. That's good news. Then we can come in and say, well, we know if size shape is that first name is going to be good. So we'll say groups of first name dot value is going to be dimension 1.
Yeah.
That's equal to this. Well, hold on. You know what? Where are we? Try parse dimensions.
We're expecting these to be dimensions. I'm not sure that the word name is... I think we've abstracted away from our meaning.
Yeah.
But that's one of the benefits of replacing these with variables. We can now rename first name, second name, and third name, and all the usages will go with it, rather than the difficulty we might have had before, which is searching through multiple regexes in order to find out, which pieces needed altering.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could reuse this. The problem, I've got that shape name at the end, and I've got, potentially units here as well that are happening up above that are not guaranteed not to be happening down here. So it's not quite the same. I think I am going to at least do this. I'm going to copy that and maybe even to here. I'll copy that and we'll kind of work in that space down here. Okay, let's declare the values. Okay, like that. We don't need this or this or this. It's URL they show. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. We actually discovered this yesterday, Thindall. It's a little crazy what they're doing. We registered a complaint with Google, and they'll take it down. It's a copyright violation, unfortunately. So yeah. I know they're doing it. All right. So whatever, sometimes things like this happen. Not a big deal. We're going to keep, we keep focusing on what we focus on, which is try to write a great product, right? That's what we're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're going down in here. We're getting values 0, 1, 2, and 3 from that. I don't think I need this. I now need to set up some sort of, I need to assign dimension feet right here. I'm going to create something called dimension stir. And we're going to say dimension stir is equal to
well, initially it's value 1, isn't it?
I was thinking about that, but now what I think I'm going to do instead is not give it anything here, and instead just kind of do the logic along here. There's a failure,
Okay, yeah.
it's there. If it's here, it's equal to essentially what we sent over before, which is going to be have some x's in it, and then value 1 like that, and an x. Oh, you want to see something cool? Here's, you can use the feature we showed before, selection, duplicate selection. Is I can come in here, select this, duplicate that, change that to a 2, duplicate it one more time, and check it out, it goes to the 3. Like that automatically for me. Okay, so I've got that there. If that fails, go to here. What's Thindall saying? Do the best thing?
Thindall's talking about reasons for evaluating tools that are good for, improving your development speed and what have you, and mentioning that test runners are very useful. And I was just finding our little video on tiers for tests in order to better facilitate that. We've got any number of templates. In fact, you'll notice as time goes by, we use templates left, right, and center, which are basically, what do we call them? The sort of, I forget what Studio calls them. But basically, you type a few characters in that are relationship snippets. There we go, snippets on steroids. And so you use a few characters, and you'll notice Mark typing things like TI, the very small end of the wedge, giving you the type of integer or the type of very other things. But we also build methods and we build parameters with the same kind of logic. When you're in a test method, as Mark's demonstrating now, we can build out the whole test in the first place and the asserts, all based on very, very short sequences of keystrokes, which are very easy to remember because they're based on the sort of mnemonics of those phrases that you'll be using anyway.
Right.
A for assert, T for test fixture. And of course, we use a lot of context. So you can use T in an empty file to create a test fixture, but you can use T inside of a test fixture to create a test, and it sort of knows where it is and which thing you're likely to want to produce.
Yeah. So
all manner of clever things in there.
Yeah, it's deadly simple. It's like, right? It's just like I'm just going to throw the letter T I'm throwing the letter T at Visual Studio, and I hit the space bar. Oh yeah, I want something different. I'm going to throw the letter T at it again and get it again. Yep. So yeah, it's built for high-speed coding. It's kind of our passion, our pursuit, what we're trying to do here. And so, that's what we're trying to do. We achieve varying degrees of success with that. But take a look at that out there. So Roy, you're listening to anybody who says they want a copy Code Rush, right? You're going to send me that list, and I'll reach out to you hopefully today on that and get that started with you. Okay, so at this point, I think we're ready here. If we get a compile up here, we're ready to step through it. I don't think we're going to get a compile down below yet. And then we might still have a problem up here because I think we may have broken some things. How are we doing?
There's an extremely suspicious chap in the chat room there who suspects perhaps he'd like a license. There's this guy Surly Dev. I'm not sure if he's the kind of guy we want to hand. Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah,
Copper Verde says he thinks his license has run out too.
Yeah. Write them down.
Got you all, guys. Don't worry. We got you back.
Down. What's going on here? So we got a bunch of errors, but part of the errors are I think, here we go. This is the one. It's the last one. That's the one that's like kind of really important. Add targeting square. Okay. I've got TaleSpire running on my second machine. It's trying to copy files over to that, and TaleSpire's got them locked. So I'm going to shut down TaleSpire, so we at least get rid of those errors too. Okay, add targeting square. So this is down below in the plugin right here. So we're changing a couple things. We made it so that the edge length is going to go from an int to a float. Shouldn't be a problem. And I actually want to build this in this over here. I think I do have problems here still. Nope, were the last two problems. Okay, that succeeded. Let's come back over here and do a rebuild over here. See how we're doing. So all we've done right now is we've got it so that we can send over 3 values, 2 values, or 1 value as the dimensions over to TaleSpire. Okay, there we go. All right, we forgot to declare that. I've got dimensions feet. Okay, it's not going to be dimension string, it's going to be dimensions feet. That, whoops, that one equals that one. Is that it for me? I have a bunch of other errors that all come up because I can't compile the low level. I will get you a direct link to it so you can look at it right now. Image content, log files. No, posts is what I wanted to click on. View that. Here it comes. Cody Rilla says CodeRush is faster than ReSharper, but it's also not a one-to-one feature compat. That's absolutely true. There's some things, if you love things about ReSharper, then you're going to want to keep ReSharper, especially if the CodeRush doesn't have an equivalent. But if you're kind of like struggling with it and you want to, try something else, do that. Make sure you take a look at our Feature of the Week series, though. It's definitely get you up to speed. How are we doing here on our builds? This project's got about 1,000 files in it, I think the last time I checked. It's grown since we started, Rory. Okay, cool. Rebuild all succeeded. So I'm going to start this up. I'm going to go to TaleSpire, hit play on the secondary machine. We'll get these starting up and we'll take a look and see if we can actually send, if the data is being parsed correctly and being sent down, which is what we're looking for. And once we do that, then we can make the next set of changes to actually get the targeting cylinder to show up. Because for this particular spell, we need a cylinder that's 10 feet in diameter and 100 feet tall. That's what the rules say. What's cool about this is that UI element is going to be showing up in 3D and custom fitted. All right, let's see. How are we doing over on the TaleSpire machine? Okay. Loading up the game. Close up our scroll here. Fred's back in our control. Good, Fred? Okay. All right, fine. I'm going to use use 20% of the features. Questions if you do those 20% better. But we do templates. We do, which are like code snippets. We do those better than anybody right now. What else? Our smart duplicate selection is pretty good. A lot of times it's nailing it, and it should get better if we continue to invest in that, in the directions I want to go with that. So yeah. There are other things that I think we're kind of generally compatible with, and I think there are some things that ReSharper does better too. So it kind of depends on where you are. Oh, there's another feature we use all the time. I use all the time on this show, all the time in my development. It's called tab to next reference. You just get on it, put the character anywhere and hit the tab key, and it'll just tab you through all of those references like that. Really, really nice, right? Just go through all the references in a file just by hitting the tab key. Nobody does that yet. No one's copied this yet. This is like a feature that is has been primed for copying for 10 years, something like that. I just noticed I haven't heard Rory in a while. Rory, are you still with us? He says you're gone, buddy. I'm still streaming, I think. Says tab what? Yeah, you're live. Bindle says I'm live still. Maybe we lost Roy. Let's switch over. I'll try giving him a call. Switching to my like third machine here to get up the call with Roy. See if that works.
Hello.
Hey, you there, buddy?
Okay, so did just the Skype drop off?
I guess so. Yeah.
There was a moment of large amount of frozen for people in the chat room as well. I assumed everything had just died. Perhaps not.
I just talked through it like, you know. No, like that's what I did. Okay, so we've got somewhere in here. I think I've got a breakpoint in the code. Let's switch back over to TaleSpire. On this machine, I'm going to bring up Little Cutie's spell. She's got a spell called Call Lightning. Little Cutie is right here. That's Little Cutie right there. Right there. And she's got a spell called Call Lightning. So I'm going to hit the Call Lightning button. And we got a breakpoint on the other machine. Let me switch to a special view so you can see both of these over here. Here's my breakpoint over on this side. I'm right there on this line of code. We're trying to get it. We want to see if these target details have been parsed correctly. That's what we're looking for here. So target details, it's dimension, good. So this is good. We've got a kind here. We've got a dimensions feet. Looks like that got parsed correctly, just like we wanted, right? Its kind is a volume. And do we have the shape correct? Is the shape? The shape is none. Okay, that's disappointing. We have to get the shape and solve that. That can't be none. So let's go figure that out. So we'll go find shape, tab to next reference on where it is. D&D utils to shape comes down here. And sure enough, I don't have a cylinder. Oh, I better have a cylinder inside here, do I? I do. Good. So I've got a cylinder right there. That's the one I want. I'm going to set a breakpoint in here. I'm going to reload all the data. After I let that dragon down, he's making a lot of noise, bugging me a bit. Okay, reloading all the data. Looking for my breakpoint. There it is right there. And now we're going to say, hey, if it's a cylinder, just duplicate the line right there. Type in cylinder, like that. And that's what we're looking for. I'm going to set a breakpoint here now to make sure we verify that we in fact get there. And I'm hitting run. Not getting there at that breakpoint. That's not good.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's set a breakpoint here, I guess. Let's reload all the data. Let's set a breakpoint here just to make sure we're coming in here. Reload all the data again. You know what just occurred to me, Rory?
Go on.
I think I'm going to need to restart. I did edit and continue on a source code file located in a core DLL. And this is this problem we've sometimes seen where we make a change and it behaves as if the change was not made. So what do we got over here in value? Nothing here in value now. Still nothing in value. All right, let's set a breakpoint for when that's equal to cylinder. You can quickly verify that this is the problem. Conditions that is equal, or maybe lower equals cylinder. I got that right. Let's try running that. Do we stop? Maybe that's not the right condition to stop at. Let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint here and set up that condition. Oh wait, look at this. It actually says cylinder right there. Where for whatever time we had the breakpoint before, it had it in there. So I'm just going to say, hey, part dot contains cylinder. Okay. Oops. Close. All right. I think that's right. Oh, shoot. Okay. Let's reload everything, see if we get a breakpoint there now. Yeah, I think the code is right. I just need to... Okay. There it is. Where do we go? Units are in feet. Got the first and second.
Yep.
And there's the value right there, dimensions chart, 10 by 40. That's all good. Dimensions feet is equal to that. Here's the value. Whoa, groups 2 value. Oh, because it's groups 2.
Yeah.
It's shapes.
This is, again, where we said we did originally use numeric groups, but we've now expanded to have an inconsistent quantity of groups. Well, I guess it's the same quantity now because it does return a value for all of them, but we had this hypothetical where the second group wouldn't always be the same thing. So we're referencing them by name now, and so we can pull them out precisely based on what we actually want.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I want to check to make sure there's no other use of groups up here. Yeah, look here.
This is Sam's reference. We've just been talking about this in the chat room, how it's a great feature of CodeRush.
Yeah.
Effectively, you place your caret on an identifier within your code and you hit tab. And just like navigating between data entry boxes, you navigate between references to that identifier, solution-wide. Okay, so it's like find all references, but find me the next one and the next one. And when the first one is lit up, any others on screen are also lit up. So you can get a great idea. If your method, your algorithm fits on screen, you can have a great idea, a very quick overview of how this particular identifier is used.
Yeah.
It's very useful.
Yeah. By the way, on Sunday, I'm going to do a special unscheduled show. Be sure to give us a follow if you want to see that on Sunday. We're going to use a feature of CodeRush called image embedding. And we're going to use it along with a test case generator that's going to generate test cases for stock data. We're creating a trading bot on Sunday, I think, to trade stocks. And we're going to select data. It's going to, based on the selection, based on other things that we've added in our test case generator, it'll generate a test case for us with an image that will appear in the code of the actual data. So when we go to the test case, we'll see it, and it'll go save out that data as well to its own unique file. So the whole thing is actually really exciting for me on Sunday. We're expecting to do that show. So hang out with us then if you're not doing anything on the weekend, or look for it on the video on demands. If you're telling us about it, it doesn't make it a scheduled show. Yeah, it's kind of not
irregularly scheduled.
Yeah, it's not a regularly scheduled show. It's what it is. Okay, yeah. So now what I want to do is...
Frank, there in the chat room, would you like a copy of CodeRush? Because we're kind of giving them away if you just ask. Are you interested?
Or you kind of hint at it. You don't even need to ask.
Yeah, that's true.
It's free for anybody watching the show right now, because, that's what we do sometimes. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to now hit a button on the Stream Deck, and I want to look at the log file over here, because I want to see what information is coming in from the log file. So I'm going to hit on the Stream Deck. I'm going to say little Q is going to call Lightning. Now I got a breakpoint up here, so let's step through here. We want to make sure the target details are good now. Now we should see a shape of cylinder. We do. So this is sweet. We have dimensions in feet, and we have a shape that's a cylinder. So that's awesome, awesome news. And then we're going to call start targeting right there. Okay, cool. So cool and kind of not cool. Partially cool because, well, we got something happening indicating communication. Not cool, I've got repeated exceptions being thrown here. Looks like null refs, which I'm kind of expecting things not to work yet, because I haven't set up the UI component over here yet, which I'm going to do. Let's see if I can select this to stop them from coming in, and then scroll up. Here we go. Got dimensions. It says target range indicator found. That's on the control itself. Unsupported targeting shape, cylinder at 10 feet. So we've got this right here. So let me close down TaleSpire and let's go after that one. Nothing. Oh, you know what? I copied a little more to the clipboard. I had a leading space there. Okay, so now we're here. And I kind of want to do this. So shape name is cylinder, and dimension 1 feet is greater than 0, and dimension 2 feet is greater than 0. Then we want to say add targeting cylinder, passing in 2 dimensions.
Yes.
That's going to be based on add targeting square. Cool. This is going to be, the first one we said was the radius. No, the diameter. Pretty sure. And it's and the next one after that is going to be the height of the cylinder. And target cylinder, let's call this diameter. I'm not sure why I'm saving these. Like, let me hold on a second here. Why am I saving target square edge length? Why do I care? I don't think I care at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I care. I'm gonna get rid of it. Same thing with diameter, I think. Wait. Maybe not. What's going on with diameter? What am I doing with it here? Get creatures inside sphere. Target. All in volume. So it's for one of the buttons that say, hey, target everybody in the volume.
Mm-hmm.
This one expects it's a sphere. Let me make this bigger here so we can see this. Let's maybe go full screen with that. Yeah, it expects the volume as a sphere, handles all the shapes elegantly, like that. Okay, so we're using it there.
Frank in the chat room, Mark, is saying that the music is maybe a touch loud.
Okay, I can handle that. I got a button to drop it down. How's that, Frank? Throw it down one more. How's that? Great. Thanks for
That's
that.
good.
Thanks for that live audio work here today. Let's close the let's get a little more going on here. Yeah, so I've kind of got a problem here. Problem is
Okay.
I'm starting to collect. I'm collecting static field variables, and it's not going to get easier.
And they're not universally applicable either.
They're not. It really is kind of screaming out that I need a kind of another class to handle this.
Yeah.
To handle, like, I need a class that says basically, I need a class like a, I don't know, I guess I could call it a targeting volume for now.
Yep.
Like this, and it's going to have a method that's called like get all targets in volume, I think is what it's going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. I'm not sure it takes any parameters.
That's what we're going to be doing.
What'd you say?
Isn't it? I said abstractly that is what we're returning those values for.
Yeah.
So now, rather than return all the dimensions in all the ways, we can have variations of this, or indeed one that just understands which kind of volume it is,
Yeah.
that does the calculation, returns you your single list, because it's typically a list.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. Something like that. Yeah. And then we have one property here of this type, targeting volume, just called like maybe targeting volume, like that. Then we get rid of this and this and this and this and this. Let's do that. Let's get that. We're going to need let's move this to its own file. And we're going to create a descendant of this called targeting sphere. Like that. We're going to need to override get all targets and volume. And this could maybe go, I think I've got TaleSpire target.get. Nope, it's not there. Is it in minis? Get all in sphere. We need to have it some sort of center point. And we need a diameter feet, which means those are the properties we need right in here. I think actually for any targeting volume, we have a center point that we could create. It's a vector 3. Just call it center, maybe. Like that. Okay, cool with that. This is going to be centered. This needs a different thing. This is a DTO, so we can say, I think I've got to get vector DTO. It just needs a different version of a vector. Diameter feet. So this is going to be a property here. It's going to be float, like that. And that's what we're going to send to it. When we construct a new instance of it, we're going to want to pass in our diameter feet to it. Like that. Okay, that's happy now for me. So that one's good. We get a targeting sphere, move type to file. Then we come back over to our target class, and at the right time, our targeting volume, we want to initialize this to the right class.
Yeah, but the great thing there is that we get to initialize it based on data that we will presumably have at the time and will not need to store thereafter, because it will thus onwards be part of the sphere, the volume we are targeting.
Yeah, so everywhere I had a target sphere diameter 0, I'm going to replace it with targeting volume as null. That's what I'm going to do. Here's another one. Coder's template SN, set to null. That's what I'm doing there. It's on the clipboard, so I just type it in. Okay, then we have this. And back to here. So this, we're going to say targeting volume is equal to new targeting sphere. Like that.
And we'll need to pass the diameter feet in, presumably to that.
Totally agree. I was just looking at that. But good job. You found it before I did. Okay, so targeting volume is now equal to that. There's another thing that's going on. We're taking a prefab out. And look down here, set sphere scale. See this?
Yep.
This prefab thing here. I think this is going to go. I think all of this is going to be moved in here.
Okay.
Sphere. That's what I think. Let's try it for right now.
The sphere is not just going to be an abstraction of the volume that we are targeting. It's going to be containing information about the prefab as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So we set that. We come down in here. Targeting prefab is going to be something that is going to be up in targeting volume. So that's going to be a game object. Like that. And I'll keep it lowercase for now, just so that we get to compile, and we'll change it in a second. This is going to need to be TaleSpire.log. That error there. I don't think I want this anymore. My logging is better. Flashlight we need.
Mark,
yep.
Just trying to think ahead slightly, and perhaps I'm overthinking this, but are all of our mechanics for targeting that will clearly need prefabs to represent them for the targeting purposes, does it make sense that they are all volumes? So this one is, and the targeting sphere that we've seen is, but don't we target points?
Yes, and we also target planes, like a square or a circle. But even in a square or circle, I'm going to treat it like a volume. So if I say get everything in the square, I'm going to actually give it some volume and look inside it.
So treat it as a special case of volume when some of the dimensions are collapsed.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm going to do. This is going to become the parent right here. Right here. And then we're going to pass in the flashlights to this constructor. We're going to pass in the flashlights right here. It's transform like that. Okay? So now there's add targeting sphere. So good, we're cleaning this up, creating a new targeting sphere. We need set sphere scale. Did you say something, Rory?
No, just clearing my throat, don't worry.
Okay, clear that out. Come back over. Yeah, I like this a lot better. This is going to be a lot better, especially when it comes to the cylinder, which has 2 dimensions instead of 1. Everything is going to be different. This is going to be TaleSpire.convert, each tiles. We've got this targeting prefab. Oh, this is static, so we can clear that. I think we're good. The only thing I got to do is this, the targeting sphere composite effect. This is declared currently over here, and it's set using this method, set targeting sphere, which passes in some JSON, which is looking for a particular effect in JSON. I don't really... So this really needs to kind of become... Well, let's go look. Let's go find it again. Where are we? We're in here. Let's take that out. Let's move it at least over into our targeting sphere. So the idea is that anybody can come along and pass in what's going to be the composite, what's going to be the effect, is what the idea is here. Let's fix those log messages right there. And then we're still targeting sphere composite effect is not declared here yet. Where else are we? Let's go find out where else we're using this. Just using tabbed index reference basically is targeting sphere set. This is going to become targeting sphere. Is targeting sphere set. So now I can take this out of here, come over to targeting sphere, and do that. It's going to be static. One more time, get out over there, and is that it now? That's it. So now we can take this, bring it over into targeting sphere, and put this up here. Targeting sphere, composite effect. Okay. Now, that's a composite effect for the composite targeting sphere.
Yep.
Do I want... I guess I'll create... a composite effect as well for the targeting cylinder. We still have to target sphere diameter. What's going on there? We have this and this, just in this space right here. So creature board assets, something on targeting volume needs to return that. Get all targets in volume, right there. Okay. All right, good.
We're not actually returning that value on line 15.
Yeah, I got it. I'm going to work my way back out to where we were. here. This is where I wanted to be. I wanted to go to TaleSpire. What is this? All in volume. Yeah, so we're just getting them. That's all it seems that we're doing. Is what it sees. So this one, get creatures inside sphere. What I really want to do is I want to say TaleSpire.target.get creatures inside volume, targeting volume. That's what I think I want this to be.
Yeah.
And now let's declare that. The creatures inside targeting volume. So it doesn't matter what volume we've selected. We're just going to find them and get them back out. Like that. Now in here we've got creatures inside sphere. That's if we're using a sphere, but I don't really care about that. What I care about, this one's gone now. What I care about is the targeting volume. If not null, then return targeting volume dot get all targets in volume. Like that.
Yep.
Then, and otherwise I think we're going to be returning null. Let's just make sure that this can handle a null. So we don't get a, no, it cannot get a null. Okay, so we're going to return a new list then. Like that. Just an empty list. Okay. All right. Now get all targets in volume. And it looks like that we kind of already had that code. Minis, TaleSpire.minis. Get all in sphere, get creatures inside sphere. Getting its position, which is now going to be the center. And the diameter feet. Yeah. So that is looking, what's the difference between get all in sphere?
One calls the other, doesn't it?
No, it's not quite there yet. Is inside sphere, interesting. Okay, that looks interesting. With get creatures inside sphere. Huh. They look like kind of similar implementations of the same function. This one's called from only one place here, which was, so it was called from only one place. Also similarly only called from one place. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's double check the logic in both of these. Convert feet to tiles. That's in diameter feet. Coming in there. That's also diameter feet, radius feet. Get distance in feet. Wait. Oh, if the distance, then we add the creature. Let's double check this logic. Get all character positions, get all in sphere. I'm liking this code better. It just looks tighter.
Yeah.
I like this a lot more. So I'm going to go with the second one. We're going to actually comment out this one, because I'm thinking we don't need that anymore. So that one's gone. Then we're going to, I think we just return this.
Yep.
Get all in sphere. What are you returning? Character positions, creature board assets.
Ah, so it's less about determination of where they are, which is a similar algorithm. It's a different physical collection that's being returned.
Yeah. But look what I do here. I try to get the character positions. Right? I'm ultimately just getting the character positions from the creature board assets. So guess who doesn't, you know, we don't really need the assets, I think. Yeah. I think we're going to change it is what I think we're going to do. It's going to return character positions. Just double check one more time over there in modding utils. Is that what we're sending back at character positions? Character positions? We're not. We're sending a list of character positions. Interesting. It's not the same thing. A character position with an S on the end of it. This guy, it looks like that. So we can still get to the thing we need to send back, the data we're trying to send back, which we'll do. So let's just convert everything over to return a creature positions, character positions like that. We're going to call this character positions instead. Join, join, join. Why do I need this? I'm joining
a list of names.
The assets together.
Oh, he's doing it just to pop it into the debug message.
That's it. That's it. Okay. Good. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't need this. Success. And then this is going to be this to be the same data dot characters. So now that'll send the right data back out. Okay. Code's smaller. I like that.
Yeah, a lot simpler.
Okay, so this is now going to return this. And now I'm going to handle null. I'm going to make this be null.
Speaking of null, see that place I'm standing?
Yeah.
Yeah, goes null when I leave stage left.
Here's a partially sorted playlist for the great dungeon run for lovers of Dungeons & Dragons. All right, I'm checking it out. I'm gonna hit.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna hit pause. It looks awesome already. Excited about it. Thanks, Frank, for that. Rory, thank you so much, my friend.
No trouble at all, my friend. I will see you, I guess, in about a week if we're not doing any more this week. Is that correct?
Yes, in about a week. No more this week because I'm on my mini vacation, and we'll see you. We'll see you in about a week.
All right, bud. Have a good time, and I'll see you in a week.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Also, for other kids hanging out, you want to see us do a bot trader, a trading bot. We're going to build that or build parts of it on Sunday. So watch out for a special unannounced show on Sunday sometime right there. Cody Grella just hit Party 2. Party 2 didn't switch over. Not sure why that's the case. Why didn't we get Party 2? Well, I'll give you Party 2. I think I may know why, Cody Grella. Hey, kids. Yeah, you come for the code, you stay for the dancing lessons. It's the Mark Miller School of Dance. Happened right here. Live. Okay. So if... that was me. No more shows like this week. It's going to be a lonely week. Yeah, it's going to be a lonely week. Yeah, sorry about that. We'll get another dance party coming up here in a second. Let's see. We're now starting to handle all shapes elegantly. We're going to say, hey, if it's equal to null, Then we're going to say no creatures found. Found in volume, something like that. Check the log. I'm going to run off and pack for a move, but you're in my headphones. Okay, I won't say anything bad, Thindle. Thanks so much. Check out your DMs for messages from me for getting a free copy of Code Rush if you've asked for it on the show. Okay, and we send this back. So I think this is still going to work right here. Now we got to go down in here. This can now return a null. Like that. And now get all targets in volume. Character positions. Like that. Okay, that should now be good. Nopes. Nopes. Excuse me. All right. There we go. I think we've now got targeting sphere done. We register the effect with like calling set targeting sphere. Ooh, I tapped an X reference. This is not being called. Targeting sphere dot set targeting sphere. We must have a compile problem. Where I was expecting it. Yeah, we were in the middle of writing this code that we kind of backed away from. Okay. I'm a bit concerned about... Was it the client? No, it was in the plugin here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That's in targeting sphere. Now we've got set targeting sphere. Good. Okay, that's one of the changes I wanted to do, to create. All right, let's go back to those errors. So add targeting cylinder, add targeting square. Let's get add targeting square working just like the other one here. So we want to create a new descendant of our targeting volume of this guy. Call it a targeting square, like that. Edge, length, feet, like that. Something's wrong. Something's missing. What's happening here? Do I have a... Okay, get all... the center isn't... We're not setting the center. I'm a little bit worried about that. Let's move type to file. Set the center. Let's go look at targeting sphere. Here's center right here. Yeah. What were we doing before? Frank says, not sure it'll always be a square, be linked with, and what's determined by player. Wait, square byte, B-I-G-H-T, right? Is that what you meant? Not sure. It's always a square. Yeah, based on what I've seen, it's always a square, if it's a square. And it's always got an edge length on it, is what it is. If not, why? Pudding, dump. Pudding, I think I got a broken fanfare machine. I'm hitting it by a wall for fire. It's also full square. Yes. I got you, Frank. I got support for all of those. Walls, cones. We broke the bestest piece of code in the show. I don't know how it happened. It's just a little crazy. Center. We're not setting the center of this. we need to set the center of the targeting sphere. How did we do this before? Get all in sphere. There's no center. We used the flashlight's position, as I recall. We could still do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's just make it programmatically figure it out. So in targeting volume, this center, I'm going to make it only a getter, is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to return the parent. Do I have the parent? I don't. Where's the parent? Is that down in sphere? Parent. What are we doing here? We're setting it only there. Let's do this. Okay. We could just call it transform. Yeah, okay. I'll restart stuff. I got the app up and running. Let's see what's going on here. So that connection's working. I have an error here. Let's see if we restart this. Let's restart some stuff here, kids. Now, do we still have control, or do we break it? It looks broken from the D&D app. So I'm going to shut it down from here. Start it up from there.
Genesis 7, where are you? We need your help!
I think it's working now.
Right now.
All right. Let's see if I can start up the app from the last time, because we're still trying to build this. Okay. So now I'm going to come down here and say center. I'm just going to say that's equal to parent dot transform dot position. Volume's loud again. Let's try turning it off a second. Yeah, controls aren't working on it. Let me reboot it as well. Turn game. Refreshing. refreshing the dragon back overlay, the 3D dice layer, the dragon front overlay, refreshing all of those things. And do we have the D&D app up? It looks like it's not. Let's start that up. Footing coming in for his real fanfare. Okay, so my transform is just, I'm going to figure out the center automatically from that transform right there. Got to call my base to pass that in. So now my targeting sphere does this. So that's kind of an important thing. Everybody gets a double fanfare today. He's in the house. All right, let's see if we can get the music on, but not so loud now. There we go. Totally low now. And you can turn that off if you want. You just say music off. More pumpkins to go with the pudding? I think, didn't you just get your second one? Shirley, I think you did. All right, let's see if I can get back on track here. Targeting sphere. Uh-oh. I got 2 apps up. I did. I just killed one of them. Okay. Targeting sphere. Let's go do the targeting square. We're over here. This we got to say base parent. We need the parent coming in as well. Test. Seemed to work, right? That. Just call it transform. Well, I don't know. Parent is good too. Okay, edge strength and feet. We need to create it as well. Let's go look at targeting sphere. Targeting prefab. Where is that declared? In targeting volume. Good. So some of this code can kind of go up above us. This can be its own method. Sound effects off. Uh-oh. No sound effects off. We can't do that, man. We have no sound effects off. You are now at the mercy. I might be able to actually turn down my desktop audio a bit on that. That's kind of the, that might impact you on that. And I'll have another. There you go. I'm going to be able to turn those out. I'm just dropping the desktop audio down. Okay. Prefab. I'm working on refactoring this in my head. I have to do something here, then we do something here, then we do something here. I think set sphere scale can happen outside independently of that. My theory is that is going to still work. I'm not an expert in Unity, but I think it will. That means I can then extract this guy into its own method here, which is going to be let's just refactor this a little bit here, like that. Okay, so targeting prefab is null. We're going to send a message out. Then we can come down here and say, hey, if targeting prefab is null, then we can return. But then here we can do this and extract this into its own method. Call this create prefab. or create UI, create selector, target selector. And I don't actually need to pass in the parent to it because we already know the parent. We set that up above. Also, this now can move to here, up above. Like that. Oh, well, we need to set that in there. This is going to be the transform. This needs to be a parameter right here. It's a composite effect. Okay. I think it's going to be protected. Like that. Now, what's going on with this? This could just become... Oh, it is static though. Shoot, I'm not going to do that. It's static. Yeah. I'm going to keep it static for now. Cool. Okay, so now we've simplified targeting sphere right here. Okay, so targeting square, it's going to look something similar to that. So we set that. Then we need this, something like this here. And then we want something like set square scale. Like that. All right, targeting sphere composite effect. Let's go grab that. Take that, bring it over. Wait, did I get that? Is this what I thought I cut this already? What did I end up bringing over to targeting square? This targeting sphere set is what I copied over. I don't want that. I want targeting square set. That's the one I want. Okay. Keep going. Set targeting square. I'm going to get rid of that. Come back over to targeting square. Put that in here. There's my static method. Set targeting square. I need to find it here where it's used here. There it is right there. That's going to be in targeting square. Okay. So that'll get that JSON special effect and assign it. This thing all completely simplifies now to just one line of code. It's going to look like this. Targeting volume is equal to new targeting square. Edge length in feet. And then the transform of the flashlight. All of this goes away. Set square scale. Let's get rid of that. I'm moving this up to targeting volume. Oh wait, hold on, it's here. Targeting prefab. Did I just miss the ancestor class? I noticed in square. Oh, because it was static? No? Yes, it was static. That's why. Okay, good. I was like, wait, why is that not there? Okay. This one's TaleSpire. Convert. Okay, still working on this, bringing it across. All of this goes away. The code should be exactly, essentially the same. Oh, look at this though. There's a slightly different thing going on here with the position. It's essentially like a position offset. That's important. Targeting volume. Right there. That's the difference between those two. I'm going to call this offset Y. And then in my square constructor, offset Y is equal to 0.1, like that. And then that solves this problem right here. We set the square scale and we get out. So now we can should be able to get rid of all of this. How are we using targeting prefab? Only inside these places, I hope. We're essentially getting the transform in all of these places here. Save targeting UI. What am I doing with that? Okay, I have ideas on how to play with this. Okay, so that's a little tricky in terms of how am I going to deal with that. All of this, though, I think we can kill all the way to here. So I think that one's now refactored. And so now we're down to our last one here, targeting cylinder. I'm just going to get rid of all of this since we've refactored this now. We're going to say targeting volume is equal to new targeting cylinder. And now we need to pass in like its diameter and its height and that. That's what we're looking for. So diameter and height is what we're putting inside of it. Let's go to targeting square, get all targets in volume. We'll go ahead and return null for that for now. Targeting sphere composite effect. Oh, we didn't bring this one over yet. So Got to do two things here. Return null for there for now. We'll need to fix that. This. Is kind of similar to this. Okay. Okay. No offset Y here. This one needs to be diameter, height, like that. We're going to need to set this effect, which means we'll need to create it. Set cylinder scale. Why can't I rename that element? Because it doesn't compile? That's probably why. Okay, the transform here, I'm going to just put this in as a to-do here to scale this. We don't need edge length and feed anymore. Let's move this to its own class so I don't accidentally make changes to targeting square. Sorry, move this class to its own file is what I meant to say. Targeting cylinder. I'm going to call this set targeting effect, and I actually want to name it the same in every other piece that we've got here. Okay. So now we need to do a set targeting cylinder. I guess I'm going to create a known effect. I don't have it yet called targeting cylinder. Okay. What else? Let's do a build to see how far we are away from a compile.
It compiles. Let's ship it!
Well, let's ship it to the other machine at least. That rebuild is going to actually copy it over to the other machine. I'm going to hit play on that second machine. Let's switch back over here to the D&D app. See how we're doing on this side of the situation here. Let's get the main app that's running, and we'll close that down. And rebuild over here. And see how we're doing. So we can start. Looks like it's starting. On my second machine, starting up TaleSpire. That was some serious refactoring, kids. Okay. I think we need to do some tests of existing spells to make sure those spell effects are not broken. So first thing what I'm going to test is Entangle. So I'm going to hit Entangle. And it looks like, are we broken or not? I know, yeah, I should have the target picker up now and I don't see it. Let's see if we have any error messages out here. I don't see any error messages. Let's see if I have any other indicators. Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Hi.
I don't need money, but I need your wallet.
Okay.
How long are you going?
Well, hopefully until I see something cool. Just trying to get anything. Been working all day.
Cool thing, will ya?
I'm trying to do cool thing. Okay, so let's try targeting. Targeting work? Targeting does not work. Why is targeting not working? Oh, I'm at a breakpoint. That could be why. Let's turn off the breakpoint for a second. Okay, good. All right. We're just at a breakpoint the whole time. All right, and there we go. Oh, look, cool. The UI works. Sweet. Nice. Okay. That's what I want to see. All right, cool. And so we'll cast the Entangle spell. Is that working? Yep. Oh, but this... This did not. And that coming off of another machine. This didn't turn off. I remember that code. We got to go look at that. That code for the targeting prefab. Let's go do this. We'll switch back over here to the main view. Close some stuff down. That's over here in target.target. It had to do with that save UI. Okay, good. I'm glad this one's not used anymore. We can delete that. It was with targeting prefab. So what we really need now is not targeting prefab, but targeting volume is not null. Then we're going to come in here and call set active on it. And let's declare that. And here we just want to go in and say, hey, targeting free prefab.setActive is in range. Or we'll rename that to like new value. Maybe just is active, like that. Like that. Okay. So there's one use of it. This one, we set this to null, so we don't need that anymore there. Here. Should be here.
No.
It's not?
No, also mine isn't.
It's right here.
Mine.
Mine's right here. It's right here. Do you hear me? There's the card. Okay. Targeting volume is null that we can get out. Otherwise, we're going to come in here. And I think I've got that property called transform right on it. Is it the same though? It's not the same. So we're going to create a new property here called prefab transform because it's not the same. Let's jump into targeting volume. We want to do something kind of similar to this. This is going to come back with a transform called prefab transform, and this is going to be the targeting prefab dot transform. That's what it's returning. Okay. That feels good. Okay, targeting prefab. The save one, I think we can do this. Targeting volume dot targeting prefab, like that. I think this will still work. We can still keep this one here so we can destroy it later. All right, let's go back to targeting prefab. Here, if active self. Targeting volume dot yeah, I kind of want to do this. I want to create a property called active self. I want to come in here and do this right here. So something like that. So we're just kind of doing the active self, or rerouting that through there. Do I need to do anything here? I think I'm okay there. Okay, and we're not referencing it anymore. Sweet. Okay, let's restart. So just as a reminder, that hasn't turned off, and we expected that to turn off by now. So I'm going to shut down TaleSpire. Got some no refs here. Update target distance from. Yeah, that might be problematic too. Okay, rebuild on machine number 1. Succeeded. Starting machine number 2. So now we're looking to start the entangled spell effect, and we're looking for the UI to both work, turn on during so right now, there it is right there, so we can see that as I'm going around to select where I want the entangled spell. Put it right over here, and then I'm going to hit cast spell, and it should go away. Good. It went away. And now you can see the effects going up, hitting the location, and the vines grow. Sweet. Add 10 minutes to the clock. The spell is dispelled. It goes away. So all of that works as expected. Trying to remember what spell that I've already got an effect for that works with the sphere, so we can test the sphere. Is it one of my spells? Fireball. All right, so we're going to cast Fireball now from my character, which is right over here. So we'll try that. So we're hitting the Fireball button, level 3. Cool. That also works. So all that refactoring so far seems to have worked. We'll throw the Fireball right there, cast the spell. Spell effect comes out. Okay, so that works. Next, we need, and we know this isn't going to work because I don't have that spell effect added yet. And it's set targeting cylinder. We need to call this from around the same place that we're calling set targeting sphere. It's just some initialization code. It's looking for something called targeting cylinder. We need to make that effect. So let's make that effect over here in TaleSpire. So I'm going into the effect editor. I want to add a prefab to it. I've got something out here called, I think, R1 targeting target cylinder or shield cylinder. There it is, right there. And I think I'm just going to use this as is. I don't really, I kind of set this up in advance to be a 1x1 cylinder. We should see it out here. There it is. That's what the targeting cylinder looks like. That's a 1x1. So let's just use that. I'm going to just put in the name right here, and we're going to save the effect out as is. Now, when we restart, I think we're going to have to restart TaleSpire, but now when we restart, we should get that loaded. And with it loaded, when I invoke Little Cuties Call Lightning, we should actually see it out there. It's not going to be resized because we didn't do the sizing correctly, and I need to get going. So we'll just see if we can get that at least out there, see it part way, and then I'll get you guys a raid and get you out of here. Cody Girl says SWAT. Live swatting. Swatting the drones. Says I don't want no drones. All right, starting up. Here we go. Saw some errors up here. Just want to check them. That one's okay. That one's okay. They're both okay. Those are exceptions coming because we're trying to talk to it before it's initialized. So I should add some code so they're not so bad. We're loading up the assets here for the spell effects. That's what's going on there. Okay, and now I'm going to try hitting Little Cutie Spell Call Lightning now. That's good news. That's good news. This one is not good news down here at the bottom. Sorry, it looks like that's blocking you. Let me close that down so you can see it a little bit. So we got kind of some little bit of bad news here. What's going on here? So we have this, we just don't see the effect. Targeting spheres, no. I'm a little worried about that one. See if I can find it. Okay, so basically it could not create the effect is what it looks like to me. And I think I'm just unfortunately out of time to go search this, to hunt this down, to get it. Like I feel like we're close, like really close. Can I do like something really quickly here? I want to see if we can find targeting sphere in the effects editor. If I go into known effect, do I see targeting sphere in here? Or targeting cylinder, rather? I do. Let's choose that. Did it create what I'm expecting? Not here. But out here. It did. Let's make sure it's the same one. It is. Okay. All right. So targeting cylinder, that part works. Make sure we're calling this. The cylinder effect not found, set targeting effect. Targeting square, wrong error message. Sorry guys, just realized not seeing what I'm doing here, sorry. Targeting cylinder found or targeting cylinder not found. I want to get those two in here. Okay. So we can get a little more debug data out of there. Rebuild it. I'm not sure why it's not working yet. I'll give it like 2 or 3 more minutes of debugging, and then we'll get out of here. Just want to get that cylinder on screen and moving around. We'll have to scale it next time. Refactored the low level. I'm just checking in some code here. The low level targeting UI framework. It's one of the major things we did. Okay, one more time with a little cutie here. Spells, call lightning. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. That's super crazy interesting. Like, wow, what is that? Interesting. I'm going to select everything in here, and I'm going to open up Notepad, paste it in, and look for the word cylinder. Targeting cylinder found. Targeting square found. Okay. And we're cloning it. Interesting. Something failed in the clone. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I'm going to be able to do, all I have time for today. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate that. Let's get a raid going right now. See where we're going to send you. I feel like I say, I feel like we're close. I feel like we're 5 minutes away. Just like some thought and stepping away from the computer, and everything will be great. I'm going to send you over to Obother, one of my favorite streams out here on Twitch. This guy does some great work in the area of hardware. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Normally we're here all week at this time, but this week I'm taking a little bit of a break. So we'll see you back next week. All right, everybody have a good week, good day, and I'll be back live on Sunday.